Hello again. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Grandma Goes. And I just wanted to share with you an update about how things are going with our trip planning and just kind of say we finally got out of the snow and the weather. You saw my last video, I think. If you didn't, go back and check it out. It's the number 4 just before this one. And it was snowing like crazy, and we got like probably about 8 to 10 inches of snow. And with the weather here, it's been really, really cold at night. Today was the first day that it was warm and sunny, and it actually got into the 60s. Up until now, we've been in the 30s and 20s and even into the teens. So that was a nice break from all the cold weather. So North Carolina has been definitely been hit by the snow, not something that we're used to here. It's typically a lot warmer and sunnier, and in fact, just to give you a little perspective, on Christmas I was able to take my motorcycle out, one of the things I enjoy doing, and I was actually able to go riding on Christmas Day. The weather was so nice. But that hasn't been the case for a couple weeks, so I'm really glad to see the sun back today and got out for a walk and some exercise, and very much needed. It's been kind of rough the last couple weeks, being pretty much housebound. And so the good thing is it gave us a little bit more time to plan our trip. As you know, we're going to Europe, and part of that trip will be Ireland and Scotland, and I forgot to mention Germany. We're going to be in Germany during Oktoberfest, so I'm pretty excited about that. And our plans are to slow travel, and slow travel is when you basically spend a month or more in a location, so we can actually really immerse ourselves in the culture and take our time seeing things and feel a little less rushed and hurried. So that'll be really nice. So we're going to spend 28 days in Germany, at least. We're going to spend 28 days in Ireland. We're going to spend 28 days in Scotland, and 28 days we have an Airbnb set up in Italy, in the Bologna area. So why 28 days? That's when you get your break with Airbnb, and that's what we're going to use for a big part of our trip this time. Is you get a price break when you stay 28 days. So we're doing that. And then the other way that we're doing this and make it a little bit more affordable is we've been doing the points game, getting different credit cards that we can collect points on and using it for expenses. Pretty much the main way that this works is you've got to make sure you pay them off every month. So basically using them for things that we would be buying anyways, food, groceries, gas, entertainment, anything that we purchase goes on the cards. And then since it's something we would have spent anyways, we pay them off every month, so you don't get hit with interest, because that would definitely negate any bonuses you're getting by collecting points. So the points are actually going to help us as far as IHG is one of the cards that has a really nice perk, in that if you stay in a hotel for 4 nights, the first 3 nights you pay for, and the 4th night is free. So it kind of helps if you stay in 4-night increments, so like 4, 8, 12 nights. So we're going to do that with a few of the places that we won't be having Airbnb at. And then the other thing is, for the airline miles also, that was a challenge. Kudos to my husband, who really scoured the internet to find out how to do that, because it was a little tricky to transfer those points into airlines so that you could fly. And as I said before, we were going to take a little, for our anniversary, we're going to take a little side trip over to Kenya in Africa, Southern Africa, for a safari. So looking forward to that, and that will be pretty much paid all with the points on these credit cards. So one of the ways to do this, and I mean, it's not like we're rich or anything, but we're trying to do it smart and trying to do it frugally as much as possible. So saving money where we can, using the credit card points to pay for what we can, and things like that. So that's going along pretty good. We've got most of it all booked at this point. We were waiting on the airlines for Africa to figure out. We're planning when we come back from Africa to finish out our stay for the most part in Germany. So still got to put that piece together yet and where we're going to stay, but that won't be until late August, so we got some time on our side to figure that all out. And we'll probably do, I'm guessing, another Airbnb or maybe some of the IHG hotels so that we can kind of move around a little bit and stay in maybe a few different locations. And we'll see what we have for time. We might have a little extra time to go over to Austria. Kind of still figuring out the tail end of our trip before we get on the Queen Mary 2 to come back to the United States. So it should be a pretty wonderful adventure, and I'm looking forward to videotaping it. I'm still going to stick with my goal of 1 video a week or 10 days. It seems like it's working out to be more like 10 days. Sometimes getting it done in a week is a little bit tricky, but so far I'm doing it. So got to figure out more about YouTube and refining it. I'd like to, use it to its full capabilities, and I'm still learning some of the ins and outs. But a little bit at a time, baby steps. That's the best way to do things, is break it down so it's not so overwhelming. And that's kind of how we're figuring all this out, is just little bits at a time. Lots of hours on YouTube. There's so many people on YouTube doing this. It's amazing. Somebody I've been following recently is Wheeling Around the World. Very interesting YouTube channel. It's a gentleman who is wheelchair bound. And as I mentioned, we're looking at maybe bringing a wheelchair for my husband, because it's really difficult for him with his disability to be on his feet all day and walk all day. And if he tries to do something like that, it comes back to really bite him at the end of the day, and he's in a lot of pain, and sometimes for several days afterwards. So we're going to attempt that. And so this video channel I've been watching is about a gentleman who's doing just that. He's got a series of videos in Europe. He's got some videos in Taiwan and North Korea, and it's just interesting to see what he is doing as far as what obstacles he's encountering and how he's handling them, and all that kind of stuff. So that's been a real interesting channel. If you get a chance to check it out, he's a pretty funny guy. I like him. So watching him, and then watching other people like Grounded Life, the couple that kind of inspired us. We signed up for their course, and it taught us a lot of things about using the credit cards for the points and things like that. So just so much to figure out. Now we've got to look at the new requirements for Europe. I don't know if you're aware, but there are new requirements now to get into Europe and to get into the United Kingdom. And so we have to file paperwork. It's basically letting them know that what your plans are, that you're coming. And then it only takes a few days from what I understand. It's a ETA is the one for the United Kingdom. And then there's a ETIAS. I forget what the acronym stands for, but basically that's more for when you go into Europe, and when we go into Italy and Germany and things like that. And you just have to file it the one time, and then it's good for 3 years, I believe. And the one for the United Kingdom is good for 2 years. And like I said, they just want to know that you're coming and what your plans are, roughly your dates that you're planning to be there and leave. Because one of the things that you have to be aware of is going into Europe, it's a 90-day limit in a 180-day window. And that's a rolling window. So the window, you get more days at the end of that 180 days, and that keeps moving. So you have to just be really aware of how many days you're there, because if you don't leave on time, they can actually bar you from returning for years. And then when you go in now, I don't know if it'll be in place. It looks like it might be, but there's different screening. They're trying to remove the need to stamp passports, and it's all going to be digital now. So when you enter the country, they scan your face and take your fingerprints, and basically that tracks how long you're in the country. So electronically, you'll get flagged if you're there for more than those 90 days in that 180-day window. So very important to keep track of that. So that's another thing is we're going to be, they call it the Schengen Shuffle, because the Schengen region is the area that you're in where that limitation is in place. And like when we leave to go to Ireland, for example, that is outside of that region. So when we do that, we'll stop the clock on that countdown of 90 days. So that's another reason, you know, to go into these other areas, to get out of that area when you're going to be staying there as long as we are, because we're looking at a 6-month window, possibly a little bit longer for our time being there. So a lot to learn, a lot to figure out. It's definitely been a learning, growing experience, and I'm excited, a little apprehensive, because I'm just really hoping we have everything in place and we don't run into any obstacles. But if we do, I will share that on video so you'll see it firsthand. But I think we are in pretty good shape. Got a lot of things in line. That we got our luggage that we researched and found that should work pretty good. Trying to do strictly carry-ons and a backpack, because I don't really want to deal with checking luggage or lugging around big suitcases when we're going to be traveling in so many different locations. And my plan is that we'll take a lot of trains, so we'll be doing a lot of train travel as well. So I don't want to lug around too many things. So I know that sounds challenging for some people, is how can you travel with so few things? Well, as I mentioned earlier, we did actually live in an RV for almost 8 years, and we learned a lot about minimizing things and downsizing and getting rid of the things you don't need. And another good thing about renting the Airbnbs is they do have laundry facilities, because that's one of the things I looked for, is to make sure we had a way to wash our clothes. So, you know, making sure you have clothes that kind of complement each other, so you can switch things around and layer things, stuff like that. So we're getting there, and it's getting close. It's just about a little over a month away now before we depart. We'll be leaving April 12th, so not that far away. And I will keep making these videos up till then and update you on anything new that we're doing. But just practicing these videos, and hopefully I'll get better at it as time goes along. And I appreciate your patience and understanding with the little glitches and imperfections, because I'm not real good at editing yet either, so you probably see a lot more mistakes in these earlier videos than when I get a little better at that part of it as well. So again, I think I'm going to keep it short and sweet this time, but thanks again for listening, and I hope to get something else out next week. And until then, hang in there, and thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.